My wife and I have been together for 3 years, and we share a 20-month-old son. Our relationship has always been strong, and we consider each other best friends. This year, however, has presented challenges, including my job losses and a failed relocation attempt to Miami. We currently reside in Dallas. Around mid-September, I started noticing a shift in her behavior, particularly an increased focus on her phone, leading to her isolating herself from our child and me. Concerned, I approached her and she apologized, promising to spend less time on her phone. Fast forward to October. During a random car ride, she dropped a bombshell. She admitted she was no longer attracted to me and suggested separating. We engaged in a conversation where I managed to convince her that we could address the issues by incorporating activities like date nights and movie nights to make her feel more valued and special. After a few weeks, our situation seemed to be improving. However, I couldn't help but notice that she was spending more time in work meetings during the afternoons and continued isolating herself at home. The issue with her phone use persisted, but overall, things were still decent. Around November 14th, during a late-night conversation, the topic of her lack of attraction resurfaced. Despite my efforts to maintain a healthy lifestyle, regularly going to the gym and prioritizing a balanced diet, she expressed dissatisfaction. While we were actively working on her fitness goals, she mentioned cheating on me with a co-worker, citing being blackout drunk. Naturally, I was upset, and in the heat of the moment, I asked her to leave my house. After a few days, I managed to cool down and initiate a conversation to discuss the situation. Surprisingly, she claimed that the entire cheating story was fabricated and nothing had actually occurred. According to her, the reason for the false accusation was her perception that I was too controlling, even though I have always encouraged her goals and held her accountable when needed. I clarified that I never restricted her freedom or prevented her from going places. During that meeting, she confessed to being attracted to another man, emphasizing that it was just a friendship, and she believed he didn't reciprocate her feelings. She also expressed her desire not to immediately get back together, stating that she wanted to focus on self-improvement and developing better self-discipline. While I felt saddened by the revelation of her attraction to someone else, I understood her need for personal growth and continued to offer my support. To solidify our commitment to working on the relationship, we decided to draft and sign a contract. The agreement outlined our intentions to prioritize the relationship, engage in regular date nights, and maintain 100% exclusivity. As part of the contract, I promised to call her every day while she was temporarily staying at a friend's house, who happened to be a female co-worker. This arrangement went well for a while, until a particular date night. During a visit to a local sports bar, over a conversation and a few beers, she dropped a bombshell. She revealed that she had slept with a guy she met at a bar a few days after our initial split, and suggested the possibility of being pregnant. Naturally, this revelation deeply upset me, prompting me to call off the remainder of the night as we shared the same mode of transportation. She drove me home, and during the journey, I sought more clarity, asking probing questions about her actions considering our family. To my surprise, she disclosed that the entire story was a fabrication intended to make me resent her and facilitate my moving on. In the subsequent weeks, we continued to spend time together regularly, engaging in activities and sharing moments with our child. During one of our scheduled weekly relationship meetings where we discussed the status of our relationship, I proposed the idea of moving into a new apartment. Although initially hesitant, she eventually agreed, and things seemed to be going well for a few weeks. Fast forward to the week of Christmas when we visited our local phone store to upgrade our plans. She handed me her phone for assistance in backing up her data. While I'm generally not one to snoop, I decided to check her notifications and discovered that she was actively using Facebook dating. engaging in conversations with numerous guys she had matched with. This revelation angered me. Leading to a confrontation after storming out of the phone store, I questioned her, expressing my frustration. Why seek attention from other guys when you have someone here willing to provide everything for you? She was taken aback and deeply upset. Apologizing and expressing her commitment to our relationship after a lengthy conversation, she agreed to delete Facebook dating and showed me as a gesture of her sincerity. A few days later, while spending time together, the guy she previously mentioned as just a friend who she likes and calls comes up in our conversation. I bring up the issue, questioning her about it, and she assures me that he's likely calling to wish me a happy Christmas, emphasizing that they haven't spoken in about a week. Unfortunately, I naively believed her at the time and decided to move forward several days later. On December 28th, I checked the call logs from her number on our online portal and discovered that she and this guy were talking every day. Feeling betrayed, I confronted her, stating that I knew about her daily conversations with Jesse. I emphasized the importance of commitment if we were to salvage our relationship. She admitted that their connection was more than friendship, acknowledging they had kissed but insisting there was no sexual involvement. In an effort to make amends, she agreed to sever all ties with him over the weekend that followed. As we prepared to visit her parents 5 hours away, I noticed a significant emotional distance and a lack of affection from her. Although we were technically still together, there was an undeniable sense that something was amiss. The entire weekend felt strange and off. On our drive back home, she dropped a bombshell, expressing her reluctance to be with me, citing an alleged dislike for me and accusations of narcissism and an inability to get along with people, accusations I found completely unfounded. In an attempt to understand the situation, I probed and asked questions, leading her to admit that she had been intimate with another man and that there was a possibility she might be pregnant. Struggling to absorb this revelation, we stopped at a local Walmart to purchase a pregnancy test which, much to our dismay, yielded a positive result. Recognizing the complexity of the situation, I, perhaps unwisely, pledged my support, emphasizing our shared family despite the emotional turmoil. We tentatively agreed to pursue counseling and work on our issues. However, she is currently grappling with intense emotions, including grief and guilt. At present, we find ourselves separated, both still in shock over everything that has unfolded.